Ireland and Hungary and Estonia are important because it may be that for the EU to adopt parts of the agreement will require unanimity. But I am very hopeful that these countries will see it as in their interest to join the global agreement. It's really an important step for the global economy and for all countries in it to stop the race to the bottom that we've seen over many decades in corporate tax rates. There will remain differences across the world in terms of the level of corporate taxation, but stopping a competition that was really depriving countries of the ability to tax successful companies. That's a source of income and revenue that we need all countries need in order to be able to finance important investments in their people and their economies.
But some people do see this as a way to fulfill the Europeans' dream of taxing U.S. technology companies in particular. And that it's not necessarily fair because they are the ones who are going to be paying this deal.
Well, there are two pillars of this agreement. One, what's called Pillar 2, is an agreement that all countries will set a minimum corporate tax rate that applies to their home-based companies wherever they do business. A separate piece of the agreement, so-called Pillar 1, responds to our concern with the proliferation of digital service taxes that affected the largest American companies, the most profitable ones, and we've considered them in the United States, those taxes, to be unfair and discriminatory to U.S. firms. So the Pillar 1 agreement essentially says we see it as fair for countries that are important consumers of products that are mainly supplied in other countries, like digital services, but not just digital services.
Like Apple and Facebook.
That's right, but other successful companies as well that are highly profitable, that we've agreed to share a portion of the taxing rights with countries where these goods and services are consumed. So we're going to a system, we've agreed to a system where there'll be some reallocation of taxing rights across countries, but it will not focus on digital companies alone. It will be all the largest companies wherever they're based that are highly profitable, and it will be a tax on the excess profits that they receive. Importantly, it will result in the elimination of discriminatory digital taxes. That's been agreed, and it'll provide an environment of much greater tax certainty to our companies so that they won't have to worry about a proliferation around the world of discriminatory taxes.
Does Amazon get included because they don't meet that 10% profit margin threshold?
It depends on whether or not they will reach the threshold of profitability, and I'm not certain of that.
I've been talking to CEOs about this, and one thing they say is they're just not sure it can actually come to fruition, that there's a lot of friction when it comes to getting it passed through Congress. You'd have to potentially change trade treaties and get a majority of Senate for that. Countries like China are going to want exemptions to certain industries, that there's just a high hurdle to actually getting this through.
Well, I think we've arrived at a good, strong global agreement on minimum corporate taxes that 132 countries, including China and every other G20 country, they've all agreed to put these strong provisions into effect. There are some special considerations built into the agreement, but it is a good, strong, solid agreement, and China's agreed to be part of it. And we need to domestically reform the way we are a country. We have a global minimum tax, our so-called GILTI tax, that was introduced in 2017. We're proposing in the American Jobs Plan to raise corporate tax rates, raise the GILTI rate, the minimum on overseas profits for American firms, and also to move it to a country-by-country basis, rather than now we impose this minimum tax on a blended basis. So these are relatively modest reforms. They, I believe,
don't they make us less competitive, though?
Well, they don't make us less competitive, because you might argue that if the U.S. were moving alone, but we're not moving alone. And there's never been, we're the only country that has any global minimum tax. And now countries have agreed, we'll see what the rate is that's decided next October, but they've agreed that they will adopt a rate of at least 15%. So the gap between our taxes and those in the rest of the world are going to diminish. So there'll be a more level playing field for U.S. companies than there is right now.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.